Rise and grind. The cigars that I will always buy. Let's get into the list. Here at Rise and Grind, we equip you. We share with you the best cigars, the best whiskeys, the best cognacs, the best wine. We provide you with some motivation so that you can elevate and become your best self. And today we want to share with you the cigars that I will always have on hand. These are the cigars that whenever I'm in a humidor, if I see these, I'm going to buy them. These are cigars that come in at great price. These are cigars that give me an amazing experience. And so whenever I see these cigars, I don't care if I got a whole box of them at home. I don't care if I got an entire cabinet that's aging. If I see these, I buy these. And the first cigar on our list of cigars that I'm always gonna buy is the Oliva V Milano. Now this cigar has won Cigar of the Year. I believe it got a 96 rating. This cigar, you get chocolate, you get caramel, you get a slightly bready note to this. This is just a fantastic cigar. This cigar needs no introduction. And I want you to know that yes, it's worth the hype. Now, the great thing about it is it still comes in relatively affordable. Back in the days, it came in at about $10 to $12. I believe now in this Vitola, this size, it's probably costing you more like 15 or so, but it is worth it. Again, lots of caramel, chocolate. This is one of those sticks that I call a Twix. That's what it feels like you're smoking. And some of them, they seem to be a little bit sweeter than others. And so there's sometimes where when I'm smoking these, it develops and changes. And you get to some points where you think, wow, I love this chocolatey caramel sweetness. At other times, it's more creamy and bready. A great stick. When I see these, I buy these. Oliva V Milano. And the next cigar that whenever I see them, I buy them. This comes from one of my most favorite cigar makers. This is by Foundation. And this is the High Claire Castle. Now, Foundation cigar, they usually put out stronger cigars. And so I always talk to you about their Tabernacle. They've got the Olmec out. They've got some Connecticut broadleaf and usually some stronger cigars. Well, here, and I think this is one of the cases where they've taken something that's mellow, but it's packed with flavor. And so I was trying to think of their other Connecticut. I can't think of it right now, but they've got a Connecticut that's pretty good and it's very affordable. It's more of the entry level. This is their Connecticut that's more of the luxurious level. And so it's gonna cost you a little bit. Now, the reason why whenever I see these, I buy these is because I think you can only get these at a brick and mortar. And so I don't think you can even order these. And so whenever I'm traveling and I go into a cigar lounge, I go into a humidor and I see these, I grab these up. This is my most favorite Connecticut when I want to have a good time. And so let me explain that. There are some Connecticut's that you're just going to have with your coffee and just after breakfast. This is a Connecticut that I'm going to pull out when I want to celebrate. And so it's mellow, but yet packed with flavor. And so this is one of my most favorite sticks. Whenever I see this, I buy this. And the next cigar that whenever I see it, I buy it. This is the Encore. This is put out by EP Carrillo. And so they named it the Encore because this was after they released La Historia. And that's another cigar that I always make sure I have on hand. EP Carrillo, they come out of Miami. They released the La Historia. It got a lot of notoriety. And then as an encore, they released this. And so this was their follow-up to that stick. I believe this got Cigar of the Year in 2018. This was a 96 rated cigar. And so this to me is just packed with caramel. And amazingly, there's this great blend between caramel and citrus. And so EP Carrillo, they got La Historia, they got this, and then they came out with the Pledge. And so they got some heavy hitters. But whenever I'm in a lounge, I always get this, caramel and citrus. And so the Pledge is more along the lines of today's power packers. I think it might be a Connecticut broadleaf, but this, I like being able to just go back to 2018, back to when cigars didn't have to be so strong and powerful, back when they were just packed with flavor. And so caramel, citrus, whenever I see the Encore, I got to buy it. And the next cigar that we have of cigars that when I see, I buy. I was looking at the tag on here and it lets me know that this cigar I got at Fox Cigar Lounge. And I remember when I was there a couple years ago in Phoenix, hanging out with some friends. And I want to thank you all for hanging out with me, listening to the cigars that I always buy. We are a community, just sharing some tips, sharing some information with each other. We talk about the cigars, we talk a lot about whiskey, but it's never about that. It's about us. It's about us coming together as friends, just sharing our insight, sharing some advice that we may have for each other, trying to help each other out. Because the prices of cigars is just going through the roof, and all we've got is each other. And so we are a community. We invite you to join this community so that we can continue to help us. Hit subscribe, hit like, follow us on our Instagram, on our TikTok at Rise and Grind 411. But this cigar, this is the Kasa Kuba by Arturo Fuente. Now I said it over and over, Arturo Fuente is my most favorite cigar maker. I love the Opus X. That's my number 2. My best cigar, my favorite cigar, is the God of Fire by Colito. And so yes, I like Opus X. Sure, I'll pay $30 for a cigar, but I can't always do that. And so the Kasa Kuba is what I always make sure that I buy. Now this, I can see the price tag, $10.89. And so you got Arturo Fuente quality, precision, Arturo Fuente tobacco. And so this is a great cigar. When they made this, they called it a Kasa Kuba because they wanted to pay tribute to old time and classic cigars. And so that's exactly what they did with this. Now, whereas the God of Fire or the Opus X is, I get this tamarind note to them, and some of them have the African Cameroon wrapper. This one, it's a bit more simple, and so it's not as layered and complex, but you get lots of woodsy notes, lots of spice, and when you smoke this, it just takes you back, takes you down memory lane. It's made to remind us of the classic cigars, how cigar rolling and blending and even smoking used to be. And so whenever I smoke one of these, it takes me back. This is another cigar where I think you can only get it at a brick and mortar. And so whenever I see one at a lounge, in the humidor, I buy one. Arturo Fuente, Kasa Kuba. And the last cigar that we have on this list of cigars that I will always buy, we've got this Ramon Alonzo by AJ Fernandez. Now, this cigar, to me, this is like smoking a chocolate-covered raisin. This, what's so interesting about this is it's made with the wrapper is the Media Tiempo. And so that's a very high grade. That's the top of the tobacco leaf. And so that is what this is, the wrapper is. Now, therefore, it's gonna give it some strength, but you don't even notice it. This is gonna go great with the whiskey. And something I like to do when I smoke this I like to smoke this with a red wine. And so I usually don't mix wine and cigars, but there's something about this. I think it is that raisin note that I get from this, that chocolatey raisin that just goes so perfect with a red wine. And so when I see this, I buy this. Comes in at a great price. The Ramon Alonzo by AJ Fernandez. When I see it, I buy it. And so we just wanted to do this video, share some tips with you. As I say all the time, it's not about the cigars or the whiskey. It's about the moments that they allow us to have. There are some things that when I see it, I buy it because I know eventually I'm gonna sit with some friends and I'll share this with them. So we just wanted to share this with you. We hope that you would share your input. What are the cigars that you are always buying? Let us know. Let the community know. Let us, your friends, know. And if you aren't a part of this community, hit the subscribe button and join. Hit like. But most importantly, rise and grind.